Hi guys, welcome to Geeks for Geeks. My name is Radhika and it's festive season in India. So happy puja to all of you. I hope you all are staying safe and staying at home. So let's get started with today's topic, which is how to begin with competitive coding. Now, one of the real benefits of competitive coding comes with when you start solving problems on your own. When you are given a real world problem that needs to be solved in the best possible way, you start thinking. This increases your analytical thinking capabilities and also improves your logic building. Another thing is you start to analyze your solution time wise, right? Because when we learn data structures and algorithms, we do not pay much attention on the time complexity part of it. But when we are solving problems in competitive coding in contests and everything, we have to absolutely have to take care of our time, because otherwise our program will not get accepted. So you start thinking optimally, right? Also, practicing competitive programming gives you confidence as well as familiarity with the type of questions they ask in coding interviews. Now, as we are clear that why do we want to start competitive programming, let's get into the video. Step one will be choose your programming language. It can be anything: C, C, Java, JavaScript, Python. Choose any language that you like. People generally prefer C++ or Java because it's faster than other languages, but there's no constraint. You can choose absolutely any language that you are comfortable in. Another thing I would like to suggest here is do not invest a lot of time in learning a programming language. I mean, whatever is basic, whatever is important to start coding is obviously necessary. You have to learn how to take input, how to print, how to like about basic libraries, about if you're learning C++, then about STLs, and if you're learning Java, then about big integers or collection frameworks. That is important, but do not invest a lot of time in going deep into the language, because that you will eventually learn when you are learning coding. And when you practically learn it, then that's more effective than when you theoretically understand things, right? So do not invest a lot of time in learning in taking courses of languages, right? Step two would be to pick your platform and start practicing. So there are a lot of platforms available online to practice on, like there is HackerRank, HackerEarth, Lead Code, Geeks for Geeks, Code Forces, Code Chef, and many more platforms. So don't get confused, because I will suggest you one thing, then your seniors will tell you one thing, and then your friends are practicing on other platform. So do not get confused. I believe this is a very personal process, and you have to find for yourself that what platform is best for you. Pick your platform. This is trial and error method. Whatever platform suits for you, start with that. Step 3, and this is the most important step: you have to start practicing. You have picked your language, you have chosen the platform that you want to practice in, so start practicing. You start with easy level questions and gradually increase your difficulty level. Now initially you will get stuck, guys. Do not get disheartened by that. Do not leave coding because you are getting stuck at every problem. For me, I will tell you, I used to get stuck at every problem for around 2 to 3 weeks, and after that I actually started to solve questions on my own. So I would suggest you to spend some time to solve the question, and if you're not able to, then feel free to go to, there are editorials, there are discussions in almost every platform, or there is Google. Go and look for solutions, try to understand that, and then make sure that you implement that by yourself. Do not just leave by understanding the solution. Implement that solution that you have learned by yourself, right? Now with practicing problems simultaneously, you have to learn DS and algorithms, because almost every problem requires concepts of DS and algorithms. So simultaneously keep learning that, and you will also get to apply that. You will get questions where you need to apply all those concepts that you have learned. Now when you are confident, when you have done certain level of questions, and you feel confident from within that yes, you have improved, then you should start taking part in contests. There are various contests that keeps happening across various platforms. Start participating in those. That will help you increase your confidence more, and also will give you a way to test your skills, right? So I used to code in C++, and that's where I thought of this principle of CPP, which is consistency, patience, and proceed. So you have to be very much consistent, because I said you will face a lot of problems and you will feel like to not continue with this because you're not able to, but you have to be consistent, and for that you have to be patient. Give yourself time, be very patient, because you will take time to learn. Be reach a point where you're able to actually solve problems without taking help. So be patient, wait for that time, give practice a lot till then. Now the third P is proceed. So what do I mean by proceed? This means that you have to keep coming out of a comfort zone and try new topics, right? For example, say you have done a lot of questions from arrays and you are very much comfortable in it. You are able to solve almost every problem that you pick. So what do you want to do? You want to be able to tell yourself that, oh yes, I know how to code, right? So you just feel happy in that zone. But do not do this. Come out of your comfort zone. If you're not comfortable, if you're now comfortable with arrays, go to linked list, go to trees, go to graphs. Always challenge yourself and keep trying new things. Do not get stuck at one place. Proceed. Next are some important points that you should keep in mind while practicing competitive coding. So the first one is take care of constraints. So there are certain constraints which are specified with your problem statement. Take care of that so that you can decide on which algorithm to use and what time complexity will work for your program best, so that you don't have to come again and again and change your code. If you don't take care of that, you might run into problems, errors like time limit exceeded, or something like that. So take care of that. Next point is always take inputs and outputs in formats specified, because even a single extra line can cause your program to fail. So take care of that. Next thing is always try to think beyond the test cases that they have provided, because the sample test cases that they give, they are actually very simple. So they will get passed, but you will get stuck when you submit the code. So always try to think of tricky test cases and also edge cases, so that will help you reduce your coding time. These are the things that you should keep in mind initially before starting to code. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this video motivated you to kickstart your competitive coding journey. Also, let us know in the comment section below if you know about any other platforms that are helpful for beginners. So that is how we learn from each other. I will be back with another video very soon. Till then, bye bye. Happy coding.